Hi everybody, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is an Answering Questions episode. Got one question today, but that's okay. Alright, Madison from Oshkosh, Wisconsin actually asked me, how long did dinosaurs on average live? Is this known? Well, yes, and actually, when we actually talk about dinosaurs and basically in their average age, when we actually, what the paleontologists actually do is basically, they find a part of a bone where basically they actually will find a solid part, basically a solid part of the bone where basically in its circumference it's solid. And so basically you're actually counting tree rings, basically like you're kind of basically counting tree rings. So basically you're counting the growth rings on bone. And this wasn't really the case for a long time to figure out how long dinosaurs lived in terms of their age, basically in their lifespan. But basically it wasn't until around the 1990s. It was actually Dr. Greg Erickson, who actually from Florida State or University of Florida. He actually has done pretty good research about dinosaur growth rates, and basically he focused on Sioux, and Sioux was actually is the largest and most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex found so far. But there's probably some others that probably might actually rival Sioux. But anyway, what he actually tried to do is basically find some parts of bone where basically he could actually count tree rings. And for a long time, scientists actually thought of actually cutting the femur, basically the thigh bone of the dinosaurs, would actually give the same growth rate like in most mammals, reptiles, and basically kind of like us is basically how we determine a person's age. Basically, if we don't know the person's age, really, we cut the femur and basically find out how old that person is. But basically, with Tyrannosaurus Rex and most dinosaurs, basically theropods and sauropods, the bones are hollow. So basically, you're not really gonna find a solid bone unless if you actually look at a certain part of the bones where you might find them. And basically what he actually found is basically took the end of a rib of Sioux, and basically what he did is he cut a thin section basically of this rib, and he looked at it under a microscope, and basically he studied numerous types of dinosaurs for this. And what he actually saw is basically, because since Sioux is probably the oldest Tyrannosaurus Rex for its age when it died, and so basically Sioux died when she was 28 or 29 years old, and basically that actually kind of gives a really good indication of how long some of these dinosaurs lived. Like sauropods, the long-necked dinosaurs, they probably lived over hundreds of years in age by an average. Because since if you're big, you can if you can grow really big, then basically you have no natural predators, and basically you can actually live as long as you want. And that's why elephants actually live until in their 80s. But even though that's kind of declining, but also whales live a long time as well. But basically they need large sources of food, and basically right now their lifespan's declining in their average age. So basically like with Tyrannosaurus Rex probably would actually have lived probably to between 30 and 35 years old. That'll be my estimate of how long they probably might have lived. And when we look at other dinosaurs, basically other Tyrannosaurs probably lived in their 20s, basically like Albertosaurus and Daspletosaurus. The raptorial dinosaurs, probably like Deinonychus, Velociraptor, and Utah Raptor, they probably lived, probably 20 years, depending on how long their lifespan really is. Because since they're very small dinosaurs, small theropod dinosaurs, they probably live between 15 and 20 years of age on average. Because since they probably grow really fast, and probably with say with stegosaurs, they probably lived in their 50s. Probably ankylosaurs probably lived maybe in their 60s or 70s, somewhere around there. But I mean, there's still a lot of research to be done there. I mean, I don't really know that much of the average age of each family of dinosaurs, but I do know Tyrannosaurus rex and some of the sauropods and some of the tyrannosaurs, because those are the dinosaurs that I've recently seen done studies with growth rates. But there's still a lot of dinosaurs to actually look at to find out how long they really lived in their times, especially with their age. And basically all of you that I'm talking about with age, I'm not talking about radioactive dating, basically dating by the elements of the rocks. I'm talking about basically the age of the lifespan of some of these animals. And so with lifespan, because basically sauropods probably lived the longest out of all the dinosaurs, because they probably lived over 100 years of age. Theropods, the carnivorous dinosaurs, they probably didn't live very long, because basically they pretty much live fast and die young. You know, that's pretty much how they actually kind of were, is basically because predators usually have a hard life, and as predators, you tend to actually get injured a little bit more than the herbivores, and that actually kind of declines your health. And if you keep getting injured as you get older, then basically your lifespan is going to decline. But also diseases also playing a factor though too. Disease could actually end an animal's life pretty quickly, and pretty much that's pretty much all you're going to have to get. But even though natural causes in terms of death on dinosaurs, basically sauropods would have probably died of natural causes a lot more. Most of the herbivores would have died of natural causes mostly, because the carnivorous dinosaurs, they probably didn't really have that much of a really long lifespan, and considering that they didn't have a long lifespan, they were probably getting injured, and also diseases were actually playing a factor as well. And basically that's how it actually happens. And we still have a lot of research to do. So hopefully there's more dinosaurs that we can actually find out of their growth rates. Then we can actually find out. Then I believe I would have more information about this. But even though I do know a little bit about this, so all I know is the sauropods and the tyrannosaurs, my favorite family of dinosaurs, the tyrannosaurs. Alright, that's it for now. Next week will be a special episode. So pick a dinosaur or a prehistoric animal, basically like a prehistoric mammal, a prehistoric sea animal, basically kind of like a marine reptile, the Mesozoic, or a prehistoric whale, or otherwise a prehistoric shark. Also, you can, or otherwise a pterosaur, flying reptiles, prehistoric birds, mammal-like reptiles, all sorts of things. But remember, I'm only into vertebrates, so you can pick a dinosaur or any other prehistoric life that you want me to talk about, and I can actually give you as much information as I can about that prehistoric animal. And I can do 2 animals in 1 episode as well. I've done plenty of those episodes. And also, if you still have questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinocris71@gmail.com, or otherwise you can go on the Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts of Dino Chris. Like the page, you can actually post your questions in the comment section on any Facebook post. But remember, keep your questions short and to the point, and also leave your first name and the city and state or country of where you're from. That way I can actually find out where it's coming from. And also you can follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. That's my Twitter page, and follow me there, and I post pretty cool stuff there. And also take care of the people around you, and also for your younger people out there, make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. Those are the best motivation you can have for a good education. It's very important to have a good education, because with a good education, you get a good job in the future. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next week.